Hey guys, Matt here, and if you're wondering why you're wearing the same clothes, it's because I'm doing the same review right after I just did this film, The Crow. Of course, Miramax had to rush out a sequel, which is The Crow, City of Angels. Let's get into it. So, I forgot to mention, there was a girl in this who was the fiance, Eric Draven, the main character in this, had a fiance named Shelley. She had a friend named Sarah, which basically was in this film, who was Eric's friend throughout this film. Basically, after Eric died in this one, it continues the story in this one, The Crow, City of Angels. Now she's older, she's not a little kid no more. She basically is running from her past. So she goes to Los Angeles, which is basically like a Blade Runner. The sun doesn't show. It's all dark all the time, and it's run by and the city's run by a brutal drug cartel named Judah. And basically, there's a character. So Sarah's basically there, just trying to escape her past, and there's a character named Ash, who him and his son accidentally see one of Judah's let's say, incidents where he basically kills a man. So basically, they see it. Judah has him, Ash, and his son killed. And Sarah sees visions of it, and Ash is brought back to life. And since Sarah knows who the Crow, since she remembers Eric Draven, she paints Ash's face just like she saw Eric from the first film. Now, and this plot is the same. He's going after the people who killed him and his son. Now, and I'm not going to spoil the rest. He basically, it's the same, but a lot of people do not like this movie. It got a theatrical release, so it went in the theaters. A lot of people do not like it. I do not know why, but I like the film. It's definitely not as good as the first Crow, but it is a standalone good film. It's not bad, it's not okay, but it's good and I like it. It's not, I love this film to death. I know I might have not expressed it, but I'm really tired right now, so I love this film to death though. It's my favorite film of all time, The Crow. I know it was Blade Runner, but then I totally forgot about it. So this stars Vincent Perez, Mia Kirshner, Richard Brooks, and Iggy Pop. Most of the people from the first one, the producers, let me see. So, James O'Barr, the one who wrote the comic, came back. Graham Revell, who did the score for the first one, came back and did the score for this one. The producers came back for this one. Who else? The costume designer came back, and some executive producers came back. So basically, most of the people from this film came back to do this film. So it wasn't like a new cast. They knew what they were doing, but some people just said this film was terrible, and there is definitely some things I do not like about this film. But they're not big, amazing things. The one thing I do not like, the thing that I probably do not like the most, is the 86-minute runtime. How do you go from an hour and 41 minutes to 86 minutes? I do not know. They say there's a version that only came out on pay-per-view that had an 160-minute, which basically, if you don't know, 2 hours and 40 minutes runtime of this movie. Now, I don't know how that could happen, but I would like to see that. Basically, another thing I don't like is some cheesy lines. There's only one cheesy line that I don't like that Vincent Perez says. That's just really cheesy. But what else? I don't like that there's no fight. This is a spoiler, but I don't like there's no fight scene in the film. Like at the end, there is no big battle like in the first Crow. I don't like that at all. And I don't like that he kills him with a whole bunch of crows going through his body. I don't like that either. I don't like the Halloween parade at the end where we're all going crazy. I thought that was just weird. And I know I'm giving a lot of stuff to it, but there is definitely more good than there is bad. I like Vincent Perez in this film. Let's go to the good. I like Vincent Perez. I thought he was a good crow. Mia Kirshner, I mean, she wasn't in the film that much. I mean, but she was good. I like Iggy Pop a lot. He was really good playing some sick guy who was part of leader of the gang, but he wasn't like... And Richard Brooks, he was in the film a little bit as Judah, the drug cartel. I mean, he was okay, but he was kind of like animated. I really like the cinematography of the film. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for it, but I think I like the cinematography a little bit more in here than in this one. Because it's just like Blade Runner, it's all dark out. The city is... I like how it's all isolated, like there's no cops. It's run by drugs and crime and gangs. Basically, Judah, the drug cartel, runs Los Angeles. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold too, but... Oh yeah, one thing I didn't like was the violence was way watered down. It was really watered down. It was hardly any violence. If it didn't have any, if it had the drug content was watered down a little bit, and the language that was watered down a little bit, this movie could have easily scored a PG-13. But like I said, but let's continue on with the good stuff. I think the cinematography is great. Like I said, I think the story is good. I think that I like that they didn't basically follow, like, it wasn't just him and his girlfriend again. They actually went to a more depressing story where it's him and his son getting killed, which is more depressing than your girlfriend getting killed. But also, one thing that I really like, which really makes me, is that they continue the story. I mean, some movies, like I saw The Crow Salvation, I don't even bother. The Crow Salvation, The Crow Wicked Prayer are terrible films. I mean, I didn't see the fourth one, but I heard it's terrible. I saw the third one, and I just hated it. Because it didn't continue the story. I consider it a sequel if it continues the story. But, like this one, it continued Sarah's story. But I really like how they continued her story, and then they ended her story at the end of this film. I'm not going to spoil it, but these two films, I consider these two films the Crow films, the Crow franchise. The first one and the second one, because they have both intertwined with each other with the same story. The third and fourth do not have nothing to do with the first or the second film. But, so... And I like that the score. Oh, I forgot. The score of this is great. The soundtrack is good. But I gotta say, I like the soundtrack maybe this a little bit more. It's just... And the same guy who did the score in the first one comes back and does a great score in this one. That's what's good about the first two Crow films. It has great scores. But, like I said, and I really like, and I like that it's written by David S. Goyer. If you don't know who David S. Goyer was, he wrote The Dark Knight. He wrote Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. He didn't write this one, the first Crow, but he did write the second one. The guy, so I think he did pretty good. I think the story was good. But like I said, there's some problems with the film. But those problems that I stated were not that big. But like I said, I was going to go more into depth on this one because a lot of people do not like this film. A lot of people crap on it. I think it was because the star, they wanted to get somebody who looks like Brandon Lee. And, basically, they didn't like that. They just wanted Brandon Lee's story left alone. But they said on the internet that if they said the story wasn't about Eric Draven, then it's fine. Because they didn't want Eric Draven's story told again. They said it must not be Eric Draven, but I think that he looked like too much like Brandon Lee. I mean, look at this. So, okay, see that picture of him right there? Look at him closely. Do give you a couple seconds? Okay, so look at him right there, and look at this guy right there. Do they look that much different? Okay, so this guy and this guy, they do not look that much different in my opinion. So maybe that's why people were angry, and then people also thought that it should be left alone, but I like that they continued and finished the story of The Crow with Sarah in this one. Don't bother with the third or fourth one. But, yeah, one thing I don't... This is a DVD version, but it has no special features at all. The main menu says play and scenes only. That's one thing I do not like about this DVD that I bought got yesterday. It only has the movie on it. No special features, not even subtitles. But, then again, I got it for $6.99. So like I said, if you read the comic books, The Crow, you'll like this film. If you're a die-hard fan for The Crow, you'll like this film. If you didn't even like The Crow, why are you even watching the second movie? So, those are two films that I really like. If I have to rate this one, it would be a 4 out of 5. And that's a little bit more than anybody was probably expecting. And I forgot to rate this film. This film, I would give 5 out of 5, definite. Favorite film of all time, definite 5. But, like I said, you like The Crow, check this out. Don't bother. For Halloween, I mean, it's not a scary movie or anything, but if you're a Crow fan, watch the first two. I mean, this one connects to this one, and basically that's the Crow story, the first two. Don't bother with 3 or 4. Those are not even sequels. Those are, I think, consider them reboots, because they have nothing to do with the first or second Crow. God, Crow Salvation. No, the Crow Wicked Prayer. Alright. Oh, that was Edward Furlong, whatever the hell his name is. Who cares? But The Crow, City of Angels, I like. A lot of people might give me crap for that, but I don't care, because I like that film. I think it's a good film standalone, and I'm mad and I'm out.